Hi, everyone. My name is Eddie Fieldhouse. This is day 3 of 4 of our cocktail series in honor of Derby Week. So today is May 2nd. It is the first Saturday in May, and today would have normally been the 146th running of the Kentucky Derby. So in honor of that today, I'm going to teach you how to make a traditional mint julep. This is a recipe that I really prefer over sort of the way that most people make it. This is the way that was taught to me by Susie Hoyt at the Silver Dollar. I used to work for her at El Camino back when that used to be open here in Louisville, Kentucky. And she uses a lot less mint. It's a lot less wasteful on sort of the things that you need in the cocktail, as well as just makes for a better experience while drinking. So one of the reasons that I don't like mint juleps is when you're drinking them, usually with a straw, you get sort of a whole lot of chunks of sort of green goo that ends up happening as you get to the bottom of the drink. This recipe sort of avoids that entirely. So the items that you'll need is you'll need mint. So our grocery store was out of it. So I have decided, I went to Lowe's and just got a little thing of mint. That's really all you're going to need. I already rinsed this off camera, so know that I'm not just dirty using, dirt covered mint, but this is really good. You're also going to need Woodford Reserve. That is the official bourbon of the Kentucky Derby. And the product that I'm going to use today is the Woodford Wheated. I just think that, since we're going to drink a sweet cocktail, a nice wheated bourbon makes sense. And then this is also Woodford. So you'll need Woodford. You'll also need mint. And then you're going to need, and for my recipe, Susie's version of it is simple syrup or demerara syrup. I'm going to use honey. I just think that honey is a lot nicer in a cocktail with bourbon, especially local Kentucky honey. It leaves a nice flavor. I'm using B-Boys. This is clover and wildflower honey. It's just really tasty. I've pre-mixed a little bit of water into it just so it's easier to stir into the cocktail. It was just a little splash of water to make it a little bit more viscous. And I heated it up so it's a little bit easier to stir in for this video. And then lastly, you're going to want a Collins glass or a mug like this, like a mule mug, and some angostura bitters. So this is sort of all the things that you'll need for this drink. So the first step is going to be to pull off 4 really pretty mint leaves. Or 5, however minty that you want it, but I think 4 makes for plenty. I'm going to build it in this sort of glass coffee mug just so that you can see it a little bit better. But normally you would build it in the glass that you're going to drink it in. So I will show you sort of what that looks like here in a second. So the first step is going to be to put your mint leaves into your cup. And you're going to the goal is to get them to stick to the side. So just sort of press them against the side. You want to get your stirring spoon, and then you're just going to want to rock these mint leaves against the side. So I'm just sort of pressing them pretty firmly to get the mint oil out of the leaves and into the glass. So the goal here is not to destroy the leaves, but to just really get the flavor out without creating a mess in your cocktail. So the more you press, the more mint oil comes out, and the better your cocktail will be, or closer to a sort of traditional mint julep. And I'm just going to probably make this a little faster in the video so that we don't wait for me to do this. All right, so I've got my mint leaves pressed against the side, and as you can see, they're a little darker from where I really pressed them hard, and that oil is really expressed. It's also very pretty and starts to smell like mint now. So this is now ready for the next couple steps. Your next step is to add 2 dashes of angostura bitters. And so you just get like a little bit across the bottom. And then you're going to do a 1/2 ounce of your honey syrup or honey. Typically, if you've got bourbon and honey, and that's about all you got in the glass, it will dissolve, just pure honey. But since I don't want to destroy these mint leaves, I don't want to really stir it in for 20 minutes kind of thing. So the goal here is to do the least amount of work. So I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of this honey syrup into the bottom of the glass with the bitters. And then I'm going to take 3 ounces of our Woodford Reserve. So I'm using the same size of my jigger as I did before so that I don't create I clean this out as I go. So, and you're just going to pour this directly into the glass. You don't need to add anything else. There's no shaking with this version of the drink. All right, so I'm just going to give that a little stir, and then I'm going to take these mint leaves and I'm going to try to sort of stick them back on the side so that they look really pretty when I put my crushed ice in. So you're going to want to use crushed ice, not cubed ice. This is sort of the style of the cocktail. I will say I'm not going to teach you all how to crush ice. I'm assuming you probably know how to do that. All right, so the next step is to add our crushed ice without moving our mint leaves too much. And I just put them in, I've crushed my ice up in some bags here. All right. And you're going to want to really top that off. But I'm going to make another one of these so you can see it in this glass. But as you can see, it looks a lot prettier and it's not as messy. And then as you drink it, you don't end up with like chunks of mint. So this, yep, tastes like a mint julep. So, yep, this is sort of my favorite version of this. And I'm going to cut and I'm going to do it in this glass. And I'll show you sort of what it looks like as a finished product. The only other step is more crushed ice. You really want to round that off like a snow cone. And then you would take a nice pretty mint sprig and just shove that in as garnish. So give me one moment and I will be right back with you all. All right, so I'm back. I have now made it in this cocktail glass. And as you can see, we've still got our mint leaves sort of attached to the sides. They're not going to be in the way as we're drinking our cocktail. And then one last step. So when you do add that mint garnish, it's good just to sort of spank it around a little bit so that you really get that oil expressed and it has a really pungent flavor. You just stick that in there and boom, you've got your 146th running of the Kentucky Derby mint julep with Woodford Reserve. It's really tasty. I personally, by the way, it has a lot of ice in it so that you can enjoy it slowly and responsibly. It's not a good idea to try to hound these down since they're almost straight bourbon. I'm going to use my metal straw here and enjoy today. Cheers, everybody.